Alright, Jacaro Toro here, and on this channel I focus on Australian Aborigines, their languages, cultures, history, and so on. And this is now the second video about storytelling. In the previous video, I introduced more traditional Aboriginal storytelling, and here I would like to contrast that with modern urban Aboriginal storytelling. So I recommend you see the previous video first. So, just as the previous video was, this video is based on an article by Peter Sutton. And Peter Sutton writes that in the modern urban context in Australia, cultural appropriation seems to have been equal between the counterculture movement and some modern Aboriginal mystics. He sees both similarities and differences between traditional and modern urban Aboriginal storytelling, but on balance, he feels that the similarities outweigh the differences. So let's see what similarities and differences we have here, shall we? So first of all, in both types of storytelling, remembered events are mixed with stories that have not happened, so myths essentially, and in neither type of storytelling are people heavily committed to empiricism, so to speak. Secondly, both types of stories serve to construct an identity. They reflect both solidarity with the in-group, the us, and conflicts with those who are not us. So they draw boundaries between us and not us, and they are also charged with strong feelings. Yes, in both types of storytelling, history is not seen as the property of everyone, but rather as the property of us, of the in-group. And they are on a fundamental level about competition for resources. In traditional Aboriginal storytelling, competition for resources in nature, of course. In modern urban storytelling, it's about competition for political and economic benefits. Yes, but there are also differences then. So, for example, they are interested, storytellers, modern storytellers are interested in documentary sources to a very different degree than our traditional storytellers. And they are much more interested in relative sequencing of events and absolute time. However, they do treat documentary sources with a high degree of skepticism when they feel that the situation so requires. So that is also actually a similarity with traditional storytelling. Yes, and perhaps this is quite obvious that in traditional storytelling there is no focus on the existence of, the arrival of, and the dominance of non-Aborigines in Australia. But in modern storytelling, there is definitely a focus on this, which ties in to this and this. Yes, and some modern Aboriginal urban storytellers will adamantly claim that the Aborigines developed in Australia. They will very angrily deny that their ancestors did not come from Asia. However, this is not the same idea as the traditional Aboriginal idea, that different groups of Aborigines were created in different places by ancestors with a capital A. Because this modern urban idea, has developed in contrast to a fundamentally different story. This different story being that the ancestors of Aborigines came down from Asia. And in a traditional Aboriginal society, multiple versions of stories and different stories explaining the same thing exist side by side. And older men sometimes feel the need to sit down and discuss which is the right version of a story and what versions are not the right ones. Yes. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, why not like it and consider subscribing? And also consider sending this video to someone you feel or think might be interested in it. And as you probably know by now, if you've been watching my videos, I will be back. So, see you later.